There is a lot of conversation right now about keeping children safe on the internet. And today we're going to be talking about a brand new update from YouTube that they're starting to roll out here in the US that aims to do just that, to keep kids safer. But this could get a little bit confusing because as YouTube is starting to roll this out, there's a law that actually just went into effect in the UK, and we are not talking about that today. That is the Online Safety Act. This basically means that folks in the UK have to provide identification in order to use really large chunks of the internet, traditional social media websites, YouTube, even Spotify. So you would be forgiven if you assumed that this video was about that specific law because YouTube's doing this basically at the same time. But no, this is actually a different thing we're talking about. We'll go into the specifics as YouTube has laid them out with this new update, and at the end of the video, I'll give you some of my thoughts, theories, and speculations on it as well. I'll link this down below, but YouTube has just published a new blog. It is titled, "Extending Our Built-in Protections to More Teens on YouTube." And basically, this goes into what they're aiming to do in order to keep kids safer online using AI, using automated tools. They talk about how 10 years ago they launched YouTube Kids, and then 4 years ago they implemented supervised accounts for preteens and teens. Then they go on to say, over the next few weeks, we'll begin to roll out machine learning to a small set of users in the US to estimate their age, so teens are treated as teens and adults as adults. This technology will allow us to infer a user's age and then use that signal, regardless of the birthday on the account, to deliver our age-appropriate product experiences and protections. So no longer can you put on your account how old you are and YouTube will just take your word for it. They said they are using this approach in other markets and it's been working well. I just figured they were already doing this. The reason I made that assumption originally was also because I've seen a lot of people's content, for example, like creators that I know, they make videos and they get automatically put on YouTube Kids without the creator saying the video was made for kids. So YouTube already has systems in place that make a determination on whether or not you're producing kids content, or at least content that's friendly enough to be on the kids app as well as natively on YouTube, the main app. So this wasn't a big flashy story to me until I saw everyone's reaction to it online. But okay, enough rambling. Let's get to how it actually works. So they're going to use AI to interpret a variety of signals. As they said, they want to make sure you're over 18 years of age. So if the system identifies you as a teen user, they'll automatically do things such as disabling personalized advertising, which makes sense. They're going to turn on their digital well-being tools. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with those tools. And they're going to add safeguards to recommendations, including limiting repetitive views of some kinds of content. So basically, your recommendation system is going to change, and they're only going to deliver that age-appropriate experience when it comes to going onto the YouTube homepage and what you're going to see on it delivered to you every day. And you might be thinking, okay, what if they're wrong about my age? Well, if the system incorrectly estimates a user to be under 18, then they have the option to use something to identify themselves as being an adult, so a credit card or a government ID. And they will only allow users who have been verified over 18 to view age-restricted content. A lot of content on YouTube gets age restricted. It's very common, and a lot of creators are very successful even though some of their content gets age restricted. So you can imagine that a large chunk of your homepage is going to look very, very different if you fall into this age-restricted content category. Like one thing, for example, we love to show people is Moist Critical's channel, because this is what age restriction kind of looks like on a channel level. You can actually go in here and turn restricted mode on for your account. And when you do that, it refreshes the page, and you'll notice a lot has changed here based on the thumbnails you were just seeing a moment ago. This is restricted mode. This is basically the videos from Charlie that are not age restricted. They're getting millions and millions of views, but you know, this is one of the most popular creators on YouTube. Age restriction is not slowing him down. But I thought that'd be kind of a fun example to share when it comes to what might change if you end up seeing only age-restricted content. As for the blog post itself, though, that's where it ends. They tell you what they're going to be disabling if you fall into that category, and how you can get yourself out of that category if YouTube misidentifies your age. Okay, so let's just talk for a minute. If you are over the age of 18, you're probably wondering if you have anything to worry about here. And you're only wondering that because so many times has a YouTube update come out and then it used some kind of algorithmic AI system to get things wrong. And I personally expect as soon as this rolls out, there's going to be a lot of false positives out there. People having to go to YouTube and say, I'm over the age of 18. Can you please put my YouTube account back to where it's supposed to be? And I, for one, would find it very frustrating to have to go out and provide stuff to YouTube that I don't feel like I should have to provide. But let's take a step back and try to calm any fears you might have of this going horribly, horribly wrong, because there are a few things that might be happening in the background of your account to where once this switch is flipped on for the US, you might not notice a single thing. The biggest clue is in the blog post itself, where it talks about the signals that YouTube is looking for. They are looking at the videos a user is searching for, the categories of videos that they have watched, or the longevity of the account. Now, the way this is listed, this might just be some examples. There's probably more going on in the background, but these, I have to imagine, are the biggest things YouTube is looking at. The types of videos you watch, the things you search for, and again, longevity of your account. And that's the big one. I don't know about you, but the YouTube account I use, the Gmail account I use to watch YouTube is very old at this point. It's probably over 18 years old itself. So I don't feel like, for me personally, YouTube is going to look at my account and go, well, this person watches a lot of gaming videos, and so they must be very young. Also, I am a YouTube Premium subscriber, and I have a credit card linked to my account in case I ever want to give someone a super chat or buy a membership to their channel. So already built into my YouTube account / Google account, there's a lot of indicators that YouTube can automatically look at to basically verify my age and not ask me to do the extra additional step of showing them a picture of my actual ID. Furthermore, if you are a YouTube creator, which I know on this channel a lot of you are YouTube creators, you may already have provided YouTube an ID. And if you watch content primarily on the account you create content on, you may have done this at the time where you set up certain things on your channel. Because if you want access to advanced features on YouTube, one of the things you can do is give them a valid ID, and that'll unlock all these different features on your channel. They also use other things though. You don't have to give them an ID. We didn't give them an ID. We just had channel history kind of tick the box for us to unlock the advanced features. But some folks out there probably already have done this with YouTube in the past. So before you panic, I just wanted to show you some of the things and ways that YouTube might already know who you are. This might not apply to you at all depending on what you've done with your Google account. Okay, so as I was editing this video, there was like an extra part of this that I meant to get into but didn't. And that was the very simple question of, do I personally feel like we need this update at all? And the answer is no. No, I do not. In making this video, I think I've just kind of accepted that this is going to happen whether I want it to or not. But it is a fair question. Is this a thing we should probably be doing in the first place? And the reason I don't think it is because parents I know have gone out of their way to actually take YouTube Kids off of the mobile devices that their kids watch stuff on, and they just monitor more carefully what their kids watch on the native YouTube app. If you're a parent and you've had your kids on YouTube Kids, I would love to know if you've seen this, but evidently YouTube Kids can surface some things that aren't exactly kid-friendly. So if YouTube were coming to me and asking my thoughts on what they should focus on, I would say they should focus on content moderation and not individual user account moderation. I mean, take this with a grain of salt because I'm not bringing you any evidence here, but if it's true that the system is already having a hard time identifying what even is kids content and not kids content in the first place, then this extra layer of protection isn't really going to be any better. Like earlier when I showed you Moist Critical's channel, as a viewer of his channel, I can tell you the videos that are not restricted aren't that different from the videos that do get restricted. So hopefully this video has at least been helpful to you. If it's been a bit of a bummer to watch, then I will invite you to check out yesterday's video, which is about another YouTube update because there's just that much going on, but at least it's better news.